Okay, so we're going to be looking at problem solving using quadratic equations. So hit the pause button, heading, lesson objectives and keywords. Once you're done, write starter underline and we'll move on to the starter. Okay, so here's our starter. Hit pause, have a go. When you're ready, hit play again and we'll go over them. Okay, so state if n plus 1 times n plus 2 is always odd, always even, or sometimes odd and sometimes even. Well, if it's n plus 1 and n plus 2, they're going to be consecutive numbers following on from each other. What do we know about consecutive numbers? Say 1 times 2 is 2, 2 times 3, 6, 3 times 4 is 12. It looks like it's going to be always even, but you have to give 3 examples. So we let n equals 1. That means then that we have 1 plus 1 times 1 plus 2. So it'll be 2 times 3 equals 6. That's 3. Okay, let n equal 2. That means that we've got 2 plus 1 times 2 plus 2. So 3 times 4, 12, and let n equal 3. That means we've got 3 plus 1 and 3 plus 2. So it'll be 4 times 5, which is 20. So always even. Consecutive numbers. Follow on from each other, one after the other. Next one, factorize and solve a quadratic. No coefficient of x squared. So open our double brackets, equals 0. X squared, so it'll be x times x. And then we take our 15. Let's put it here. So we've got our 15, and we're looking for factors of 15 that will combine to give us minus 8. Minus 8. So let's see. 3 and 5 will give us minus 8 if they are both negative. So it'll be x minus 3 and x minus 5, which implies then that either x minus 3 is equal to 0 or x minus 5 is equal to 0, which means that x is equal to 3 or x is equal to 5. And finally, we've got a division here. So we've got 5.4 times 10 to the power of 5 divided by 3 times 10 to the power of 2. So 5.4 divided by 3. Just going to do a quick bus shelter here. 3 goes into 5 one time. Don't forget a decimal, carry 2, and it's 24 8 times. So 1.8 times 10 to the power of, let's divide, so we subtract 3. So hit pause, make your corrections, drag your work. When you're ready, hit play again, and then we move on to solving some problems. Okay, so we've got our problem here, and they say find the sides to the right angle triangle shown in the diagram. So there's our right angle triangle. Let's put a right angle there. This side is x plus 5, x minus 2, and 13. Right angle triangle. So what can I use to solve this right angle triangle? Pythagoras. What I need to do first is to form an equation in terms of x, and then I solve it. Now, because we're working on quadratic equations, I know it's going to turn out to be quadratic. So by Pythagoras, a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared, and where c squared is the hypotenuse, the longest side. So if we sub in our the information we have, that means x plus 5 squared plus x minus 2 squared is going to be equal to 13 squared. So what we do now is we expand and simplify. So let's expand in the first instance. X plus 5 squared will give us x plus 5 times x plus 5. So that should give us x squared plus 10x plus 25. Make sure you check. Plus x squared minus 4x plus 4 equals 13 squared, 169. Now I'm just going to do the first one for you here, x plus 5, in case anyone's unsure, squared, which is equal to x plus 5 times x plus 5. That's equal to, let's see, x times x squared, x times 5 plus 5x, 5 times x plus another 5x, and then 5 times 5, which is 25. So that's x squared plus 10x plus 25, which is what we got there. And that's x minus 2 squared. Right, so we've expanded, now we simplify. X squared and another x squared, so that's 2x squared. I've got 10x, take away 4x, so that's going to give me plus 6x. I've got 25 plus 4 plus 29 equals 169. So we'll bring everything over to the left hand side, so it looks like a quadratic. So we've got 2x squared plus 6x plus 29 minus 169 is equal to 0. So that means we've got 2x squared plus 6x plus 140. Whoops, it's not plus, is it? It's minus 140. So what can I do to this equation to make it easier for me to factorize? Got 2x squared, so 2 is an even number, 6 is an even number, and 140 is an even number. They're all divisible by 2, so I'm going to divide by 2. Everything. 2x squared divided by 2 leaves me with x squared, plus 6 divided by 2, 3x, minus 140 divided by 2, 70. It's equal to 0. So I need to factorize this now. Looking at that, I'm trying to think of factors of 70 that can give me 3. Because, let's sort my brackets out. So I've got minus 70. Now I look for factors of 70 that can give me 3. I'm going to try 10 and 7. That should work. One of them's got to be negative because it's minus 70. But it's positive 3, so minus 7. So we have x plus 10, x minus 7. This implies then either x plus 10 is equal to 0 or x minus 7 is equal to 0. So x is equal to minus 10 or x is equal to 7. Okay, I'm just going to get rid of, I tell you what, no, I'll leave it there and I'll carry on over here. Now, the solution cannot be negative, x cannot be negative. We can't have a side of a triangle that's negative, so x must be positive. Must be positive. Therefore, x is going to be equal to 7. And we get rid of this answer then. Okay. Now then, since x is equal to 7, one side is x minus 5, sorry, x plus 5. So that's going to be equal to 7 plus 5, which is equal to 12. And the other side is x minus 2, which is going to be 7 minus 2, which is 5. So those are our two sides then. And that's job done. So what I want you to do is to hit pause, copy this example down, copy the diagram. When you're ready, hit play again, and we'll look at another example. So for this example, this example we've got 2x minus 3 over x equals 5, and it says solve the equation. So let's just rewrite that here. 2x minus 3 over x is equal to 5. Now this x that we're dividing by is causing a bit of a problem. So I'm going to multiply through by x. That means I multiply each term by x. If I multiply it or divide by the same term or number, then it stays the same equation. So basically what I'm doing is 2x times x minus 3 over x times x is equal to 5 times x. So if we simplify that, that gives us 2x squared minus the x's cancel, so minus 3 is equal to 5x. If we bring everything over to the left hand side to make it easier to work on, we've got 2x squared minus 5x minus 3 is equal to 0. And now I've got to factorize that. So let me put my brackets there. I've got 2 and a minus 3, so 2 for the factors of 2. Now I can write those out because 2 has only got 2 factors, and minus 3 has also only got 2 factors. So if I put my 3 here and my 1 there. Now 3 times 2 is 6, 1 times 1 is 1, so 6 take away 1, that's going to work. One of these has got to be negative, so it's going to have to be the minus 3. Minus 3 times 2 gives me minus 6 plus 1 is minus 5. So that's perfect. So that's 2x and x. The 2 multiplies the minus 3, so the minus 3 has got to go here because the 2 multiplies that, and so the plus 1 will go here. So that means, or that implies, that either 2x plus 1 is equal to 0 or x minus 3 is equal to 0. Which means that either 2x is equal to minus 1 or x is equal to 3. If 2x equals minus 1, dividing both sides by 2, that means that x is equal to minus 1 over 2. So those are our two answers. Either x is equal to minus a half or 3. So hit pause, copy the example down, and when you're ready, hit play again. Okay, final example. We've got a coach driver who's taking a journey of 300 kilometers. Actual average speed turned out to be 10 kilometers slower than expected. So a bit of a slower driver. So she took an hour longer over the journey than expected. Find her actual average speed. Well, we know that speed is equal to distance over time, which means that time is equal to distance over speed. We've actually swapped those around. Okay, so we're going to use that. Now, if we say we don't know what her actual speed was, so let's call that x. Now, she was expected to be a bit faster than x. She was actually 10 kilometers slower, so expected speed is equal to x plus 10. So that's what she would have been expected to do. Now, based on her actual average speed, So actual time is going to be distance 300 divided by x. Now her expected time, she took a bit longer, didn't she? It's going to be the distance again, 300 divided by x plus 10. But she was an hour slower. So we can add an hour to get the actual time. So we can say therefore actual time should have been 300 over x plus 10 plus the extra hour. Now those two times are the same. Now you need to simplify this side. You need to turn that one into a fraction. So that's going to be equal to 300 over x plus 10 plus, multiply top and bottom by the same, x plus 10 over x plus 10. There we are. Now I can add them, same denominator, and that gives me 300 plus 10, 310 plus x all over x plus 10. So that's our actual time, because expected time plus 1 hour. So I can make these two the same, because the actual time is now the same, so I've added the hour. So I can say, I'm just going to use a different color pen, because I'm running out of space here. So if I just sketch this line here. There we are. So I can say therefore 300 over x is going to be equal to 310 plus x all over x plus 10. So now I've equated the two times. Now I need to simplify. To simplify, I'm going to cross multiply. That means my x plus 10 multiplies the 300. So I've got 300 times x plus 10. And my x multiplies my 310 plus x. The x times 310 plus x. So expand and simplify. So I've got 300 times x. So 300x and 300 times 10, 3000 is equal to x times 310, 310x, and x times x plus x squared. Since the x squared is positive on the right hand side, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move everything over to the right hand side. So I'm going to say 0 is equal to x squared plus 310x minus the 300x becomes a minus on that side, 300x, and plus 3000 becomes minus 3000. So that's equal to x squared minus 10x, plus 10x minus 3000. So now I need to factorize that to solve. Nice, it's just an x for me here, which makes it a lot easier. And now minus 300, I need to look for the factors of minus 300. That will give me 10. So I've just written that in the long, well, that's fine over there. Right, let's see. What about 50 times 60? 5 times 6 is 30. That's right, it should be 3000. That'll work. One of them's got to be negative though. It's got to be the 50, hasn't it? There we go. So I've got x minus 50 and x plus 60. So that implies then that either, let's just box this off because it's just our workings. Either x minus 50 is equal to 0 or x plus 60 equals 0, which implies that x is equal to 50 or x is equal to minus 60. Now her average speed can't be negative, so it's not going to be that one. So x is equal to 50. Okay, good. So hit pause, copy that example down, and then I've got some questions for you. Right, some questions for you to be getting on with. For question 1, it might pay you to sketch the triangle. Okay, good. I'll attach the worksheet to the assessment.